Ow. What's up, everyone? Punch in the pooper. Oh. It's always weird when I say that because I just practice it so much, it's just natural. Back here in Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 2, What's in Nagashi. Last time we saw the creepiest eyes we've ever seen in Higurashi, and that's saying something because of Rena's crazy eyes from Arc 1. Punchy, still on the ladder, searching for Rika and Satoko because they're missing, and Mian just told us that Rika and Satoko both are cursed because of their parents, I guess. Right now we're talking about Satoshi, who was the last person to disappear, and is Rika's? I think this is Satoko's brother. The police judged him to have run away from home, but Satoshi-kun wasn't the kind of person who would do that. He was always earnest. He would never ask for anyone's else's help. He would always drag himself through everything with hard work alone. He worked so hard, he nearly ground his bones into dust, all for his one and only little sister. Yet someone made him disappear. She was the only thing he lived for, and yet someone made him disappear. Poor Satoshi-kun. He was never awarded that Satoshi-kun. How ungrateful that child is. She is cursed. All who get near her suffer the same fate. The curse kills them, or the curse makes them disappear. She cannot have any relief. She cannot have any relief. It's probably Satoko's fault that Rika-chan disappeared too. It has to be. It has to. Oh. Punchy got it. Punchy, that ladder didn't look very high. Just jump off, make sure you land on your feet. Dude, tuck and roll, dude. Mia was mumbling words over and over that were no longer coherent. Her shoulders were trembling so hard that I could feel it through the ladder. I almost lost my footing, which made me realize just how far away the ground really was. Calm down, Mia. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't sure she even heard me. Mia rocked back and forth, and that rocking and trembling was becoming even more violent. Help me. The ladder, it's falling. Help me. Help! Where's Rana when you need her? Just then, I heard the sound of many people running towards us. Oh, hey! Over here! I very nearly said help me outright. 4 or 5 adults led by Rena ran over here with flashlights. Punchy-kun, Michan, sorry it took so long. I borrowed the key. Oh, nice one. Seems all the windows and doors are perfectly sealed. I was getting worried. When I heard Mian talking like nothing had just happened, I again felt a chill run through me. The person currently holding the ladder in place, it was definitely Mian. It was the real Mian Sonozaki. Then, the person muttering to themselves just a few seconds ago, who was that? The person who was mumbling about terrible things, like curses. Who was that? I jumped down from the ladder as if running away before Mian turned into that person who wasn't Mian a second time. The adults tried a few different keys on the keyring as they tried to open the big shutter on the first floor. Rika-chan's house used to be a disaster shelter for the town council, so the key to the shutter is still kept in the mayor's house. It's Rika-chan and Satoko's private residence now, though. This is on Rika-chan's property anyway. Nobody complains about it. Mian gave me a smile as she said that. I, however, could only return her with a gaze with an aghast expression. Mian was acting all too normal now, but that only contrasted all the more sharply with her earlier unmeme-like creepiness. Bang! Bam! Stuff happening. The shutter opened up for the first time in a very long while. Rena located the light switch and wasted no time going inside. I followed her in. Rika-chan! Satoko-chan! If you're here, say something. We climbed a narrow staircase. It had looked like nothing more than a warehouse, but now that I was inside, I could feel how lived in it was. It was a person's home. Somehow, the scent of the two of them filled the place. This was definitely where Rika-chan and Satoko lived. Oh, cute little kitchen. The first floor doubled as a town assembly warehouse, but the second floor was a space entirely for living. Just like a one-room apartment, past the kitchen was a living room taking up about 150 square feet. Dressers, cupboards, and the like were packed into this space. And in the corner there's just a huge pile of clothes that appeared to have just been taken in from drying outside. In the center of the living room was a fold-up table, and on it were small containers for things like soy sauce and salad dressing. The sense of a frugal lifestyle drifted from all of it. It was strange that they weren't here in the middle of the night like this. The adults climbed the stairs one at a time, began to make a fuss and talk amongst themselves. So? Not here? Yeah, they're not here. This is definitely weird. The village had just been thrown into chaos yesterday because of the mayor's disappearance. Then today, even Rika-chan and Satoko had. Were they out playing somewhere together? That can't be. Their bicycles aren't here though. Where would they have gone so late at night? Have they just not come back yet? Where did they go? The adults put forth various possibilities, and the house immediately devolved into a state of confusion. Eventually, Mian settled them down. I don't want to believe it, but the mayor, Kimiyoshi, disappeared yesterday. We can't say that this is unrelated. The adult's face is paled at Mian's declaration. Mine and Rena's dead as well. Let's see. They could have gone nearby for some tea or something, then accidentally fallen asleep. Whoever invited them might just not be able to wake them up at all, too. Let's eliminate that possibility first. Makino-san, please go around to the houses near the stream. Keitaru-san, go look near Ojaga Lake. Okamura-san, you probably gave directions to the villagers. The adults followed him without hesitation, despite her age. We'll remain here and call up anyone who can think of on the phone. Okay? Everyone, you have your orders. Got it! The adults all roared in reply and pounded back down the stairs below. It's weird to see the side of Mian. Wow, Mi-chan. You're not only chairperson of the school, but Hinamizawa too. No time for jokes. Hey, step aside. This old man is using the phone. Mian grinned proudly, took the receiver, and got started. Rena gave Mian a trusting look, considering her dependable for doing all of this. My feelings, though, were a little more complicated, since her leadership seemed to be affirming the Sonozaki family successor impression that Shion and Oishi-san had given me. Stop right there, Punchy Mirabara. None of that matters right now. The most important thing is to make sure Rika-chan and Satoko are safe. Let's see. Couldn't there be a clue hinting at where they might have gone somewhere in this room? Still though, I wouldn't know what to look for anyway. If we tore the place apart and figured out what was different from before, we might be able to speculate, but there was nothing strange about this room. There were no clues in sight. In the first place, I had never been here before. There was no way for me to know what was different if I didn't know how the room usually looked. Hey, don't give up, Punchy Mirabara. Stop thinking and start looking. For something. In search of something, I tried pulling open the dresser drawers and opened the windows. I didn't uncover anything meaningful though. Rena, also unable to stand around doing nothing, was looking around the room like I was. Rena, I don't think you'll find Rika-chan by opening the refrigerator or the cabinet underneath the sink. I just thought they might be hiding. How? As we were searching, it got noisy outside. Villagers were quickly assembling here, having heard the commotion. Of course, a lot of them were probably people Mian had called. I'll go tell everyone what's going on. The police will be here sooner or later too. We'll need to explain the situation to Oishi. Mian began descending the stairs, and we followed her out of the front of the house. Man, this escalates so much. I thought it was gonna be like a creepy thing with me and Rena, and like maybe her curse eye would come out as we look for Rika, but I don't know anymore. There were already around 10 adults there, and all of them looked uneasy. I suddenly noticed that the old people from the shrine were here as well. They were praying for Rika-chan's safety, rubbing their prayer beads. This had gotten bad. This wasn't just a problem between friends anymore. Mian-chan, is it true that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan aren't anywhere to be found? The villagers all formed a ring around Mian, swarming her. Mian raised her right hand as if silently telling them to calm down. First, let's check every house according to the town council's notification division and see if they're visiting anyone. After all, they could be fast asleep at someone's house and totally unaware that we're looking for them. It would definitely be hard for someone to wake up Rika-chan if she had eaten a good full meal and fallen asleep like a kitten afterwards. Oh, how nice it would be if that were the case. I don't want to think about this, but it's also a possibility something bad has happened. Mian's face grew remarkably more grim, and a wave of silence washed over the adults. We should divide up the work too. We'll go around to all the places we went last night while looking for the mayor. We'll go look around the dam construction site as best we can. You guys search around the school. Right. Let's get a move on. Come on, let's go. All of you up all night looking for the mayor. I know you're low on sleep, but please do your best. Got it. With that as their signal, the adults scattered in every direction. I figured I should scatter somewhere as well, so I started walking unsteadily in a direction no one else had gone in. I was getting farther and farther from people. I didn't feel scared or anything though. If someone were made to disappear, Sheen and I should be first. It would have been perfectly normal for me to be scared of the dark. However, I didn't feel that way. Why was that? It was because tonight, someone had already disappeared. So nobody else would disappear tonight. It would take some time before I, exhausted as I was, would feel guilt at the cause of my own selfish sense of relief. Huh. Interesting. Like last time, Punchy was really panicky all the time until he started carrying the bat and everything. This time, weirdly calm, but he said it's for an odd reason. Suddenly, my vision cleared, and a cold wind caressed my body. What a nice view. This was the hill from which you could see the whole village. Looking down from this hill, I could see lights on here and there, and knew that the entire village had awoken from slumber. First Takano-san and Tomitake-san, then the mayor, and now even Rika-chan and Satoko had been sacrificed, and word of it was spreading everywhere. The strength in my knees left me. This could no longer be a joke. We could have found them. Mian would have told me I was a warrior, and Rena would just be glad we did. And they would have smiled at me. My hopes disappeared as if I were awakening from a dream. That was what the view I could see was telling me. Following my knees, both my arms bent forward onto the ground, and I clawed at it with my nails. I couldn't figure out if I was feeling sorrow or frustration. Is this my fault? I couldn't endure the burden of my own sin, and I had just told Rika-chan about it. They had nothing to do with it, but Rika-chan, even Satoko, had been sacrificed. It was like a cross that she and I would each have to bear the weight of until we ourselves were erased. Well, if I'm going that far, then the problem started long before that. My original sin of breaking taboo and entering the ritual storehouse without asking. I knew I shouldn't have gone in there from the start. Yet I lost out of cheap curiosity. I hadn't felt so angry at myself until this very moment. There was a crunchy sound. I wasn't even interested in who made that noise, despondent as I was. Punchy-kun? Punchy-kun, are you okay? It was Rena. Perhaps my clawing at the ground made it look as though I was having stomach pains. She ran over and rubbed my back, like she was trying to make me feel better. This is all my fault. It's because of me. It's my fault. Punchy-kun's fault? You didn't do anything wrong. Please don't blame yourself for this. I could tell Rena was doing her best to choose the right words out of consideration for me. That's why I could sense her intent behind those words. Punchy-kun, you know how Rika-chan and Toko-chan disappeared, don't you? Is that what she really meant to say? Because it was an emergency. Rena had ignored the reason why. I wanted to make sure Rika-chan was safe, but now that we actually confirmed her disappearance, it was only natural Rena would start to wonder why. However, with the situation to have gone this far, I couldn't possibly tell her now. I didn't want to admit that Rika-chan and Satoko had disappeared, but I couldn't let Rena disappear either. Punchy-kun, if you stay out here in the wind, you'll catch a cold. Rena sat down, bringing her eyes level with mine. He told us that children should go back home and sleep. Rena showed me her watch as she said that. It was long past 1 in the morning. Time was passing too quickly. I had been crawling around here for that long? If we don't sleep soon, we'll have trouble getting up for school tomorrow. Even the adults are really worn out, since they were up since searching for the mayor last night too. They were saying they'd break up a little earlier tonight. I was a little upset that they weren't allotting as much time to this as they had to search for the mayor last night. But that was something I, the cause of everything, had no right to criticize them for. It's alright. The police arrived a little while ago. Look, there's police cars coming into the village now. I don't see any. Hearing that remark, I looked down at the village to see that there were indeed more cars than one would normally expect at this hour, coming from the darkness on the other side of the mountain. However, none of their emergency lights were on. Of course, their sirens weren't wailing either. That's right. All of the incidents that occurred right after the Watanagashi were seen as the product of Oishio-sama's curse, and will be handled in secrecy. Rika-chan and Satoko too. Their disappearance would end up exactly like the other serial incidents in the past. Surreptitious, unresolved, declared a mystery, and disappeared from memory. Rika-chan's face, her sweet face, like a western doll's, would fade away. Satoko's smile, her energetic fanged smile, would fade away. The more I tried to remember them, the less I would be able to. I deserved to be called an idiot dozens of times over, and it wouldn't be enough. I couldn't hold back the tears at my own sheer stupidity. I don't know what you're blaming yourself for, Punchy-kun, but you should stop. I wasn't about to deny it. I couldn't. Even so, I couldn't affirm it either. I wanted to at least keep Rena out of this. If she found out, she would become involved. Please, Rena. Could you just leave me alone? Even if I went home, I wouldn't be able to sleep. If I couldn't get to sleep, then I at least wanted to search for Rika-chan and Satoko until I collapsed. The entire village was looking, and yet they still hadn't been found. I don't think I'd be able to find them, even if I went looking alone at this point. Still, I had to do it. They disappeared because of me. I couldn't possibly go to sleep while the others are out there searching. I'd said that to myself in self-deprecation, but I soon realized that Ren was silently trying to find the meaning in my mumblings. I realized I had misspoke. It's Punchy-kun's fault? Why do you think that? Why? That can't be. Punchy-kun, you're not at fault. I was happy that Rena said these things to me, but she only did so because she didn't know the truth. If she knew everything that If she knew that everything that had been caused by my breaking taboo on the night of what to Nagashi, then even Rena would curse my existence. However, I can't even allow for those curses. That would mean confessing my own crimes to Rena. If I spilled even one word of having snuck into the ritual storehouse on the night of the Watch Nagashi, then even Rena could disappear tomorrow night. The gentle, spirited, always joking, always howling. But at a time like this, the most dependable person in the world, Rena, might disappear. I don't want that. Anything but that. This time, I need to bear my own cross. Alone. Punchy-kun, I know that you always have your friends in your heart. I can really understand feeling like you want to kick yourself. Rena knows, though, that's not Punchy-kun's fault. You didn't do anything wrong, Punchy-kun, and I know that. You know that? The shivering in my veins rushed up my back and replaced the sorrow in my heart with fear. I didn't tell her anything, did I? Maybe I accidentally said something that caused Rena to figure it out? This is bad. Now Rena will disappear. Man, what's with like people going mad in this and like just repeating themselves over and over again? Then Rena, the same way I always did, grabbed my head and began to pet it roughly. Punchy-kun, are you thinking that Rena might disappear now too? Because of Oyashiro-sama's curse? She puts much force to the hand, rubbing my head. You don't need to worry about that. Rena isn't going anywhere. I promise. What? How can you say that with such confidence? I mean, someone's been sacrificed every night so far. There was no proof that it wouldn't happen again tomorrow night. There was even less proof after all that the sacrifice wouldn't be Rena. I don't care who you are. Just please, if you're going to erase someone, erase me first. Please, stop cruelly getting rid of people we're close to, like the mayor for Shion and Rika-chan and Satoko for me. Shion's hysterical shouting came back to my mind. They must be planning to kill us last of all. They're not killing the first people who come to mind. They start by killing those we're close to, and then after that, after they've caused us so much pain, they'll kill us. That must be what they're doing. Rena, please don't disappear. Please don't. As long as I'm still here. I could no longer conceal the sobs welling up within me. Come on, Punchy-kun. Crying doesn't suit you. Let's go back to the others. The housewives are cooking some miso soup for us. It'll warm you up and calm you down. Rena prompted me to stand. I didn't have the energy to oppose her, so I stood as she urged me to. Oh, this is like a weird emotional point. Like, this is like weird, straight up drama. Instead of... I mean, there is mystery in it, but it's mostly drama, which is really weird. We returned to the shrine grounds to find several gas stoves there with miso soup in big pots. Actually, that sounds really good right now. The many villagers there sipped at the soup they were given in dead, stony silence. Their expressions were absolutely exhausted. Everyone had just been running around the village until a little while ago. From the dreary looks on their faces, though, I assumed they hadn't come up with anything yet. Punchy-chan, where did you go? I was worried you disappeared too. Sorry. Min held out some miso soup for me, but I refused the offer. I didn't have much of an appetite. Mi-chan, how is it? Did you find any clues? Min took a sip of her soup, her expression frank. None at all. School ended and they went home. Then the two of them went somewhere on their bicycles. Moreover, nobody ever saw them riding their bikes, so... When it gets dark out in Hinamizawa, people quickly vanish from the streets. Aside from adults hurrying back home from towns in cars or on bicycles, it was normal to see absolutely nobody walking around outside. It wasn't all strange that nobody had seen Rika-chan and Satoko riding their bikes. It was the same last night with the mayor. There's no hope. Min's apathetic tone pricked my nerves, but that anger quickly subsided. She'd been doing all sorts of things trying to find Rika-chan until just a second ago. If I asked her, she'd probably say she was up all night, last night too, looking for the mayor, wouldn't she? She must have been far more fatigued than I was. Besides, what about me? I'd spent the time hunched over in indecision, all alone. I had nowhere to say anything about Mion. Punchy-chan, I know it's hard, but let's turn in for the night. Okay, man, we'll end it there, and holy crap, I've gone into Higurashi, the drama. There's a lot of internal monologue for Punchy this time around, and a lot of it, I mean, is full of drama, and it's weird. So we know, we've seen it. Mion is capable of going curse-like. I have no clue about Rena. I thought she would, but like, she's kind of the same. She's kind of like how Rika-chan was, like you'll be okay, don't worry about it. And then like Punchy's like crying, worried that Rena might disappear. And it's weird because all the villagers, I mean, if they knew who it was, I don't think they would say who was kidnapping and killing everyone. I don't really know, like, this gotten really weird for me, personally. Not just for Punchy. Anyway, guys, that's one recording. I'm gonna grab some water or tea and hit up the next recording. And I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.